Hi, this is Raj, your host, Unleashing Talent, and welcome to another podcast. And today, we would talk about the power of positivity and how, as a leader, you could use the positivity as one of the key elements towards unleashing organizational potential. We would briefly discuss what it is, and we would talk about how great leaders use positivity for organizational growth and development. We would also talk about how you can develop positivity, some of the core characteristics and behaviors that you can demonstrate. The next are some of the results that you can expect if you spread positivity intentionally, and the positive emotional attractors to build a conducive, easy, smooth, soothing organization. First of all, it is extremely important for you to understand what positivity is. We all understand that the organization is not about happiness all the time. Organization has its own requirements and needs, and it has its goals, and it has its timelines to accomplish those goals, and it has people responsible for meeting the organizational strategic goals, and everyone has their responsibilities. And on the other side, organization is accountable towards its customers and its commitment to its stakeholders. And that would mean there's a constant pressure on everyone in the organization. That means things cannot always be excellent. Sometimes you accomplish goals, sometimes you are under stress, sometimes you're working on a project and you're okay in the beginning, but then after sometimes the level of the difficulty goes high and you're kind of stressed. That's one part of the job. Another important and critical area is the organizational dynamics, the political aspect of it, the networking aspect of it, the survival aspect of it, the promotions aspect of it. So in any organization, I'm sure you would believe that there is some kind of traction and some kind of natural stress that builds up amongst people. It could be a peer pressure, it could be the goal pressure, it could be the client pressure, it could be the SLA pressure, whatsoever it is. All of these can have a negative impact on the individual, and it can stress the individual, the team, and the organization. And it can also impact the level of engagement of an employee, and henceforth it can also impact the business results and organizational performance. I'm sure you agree by now. That's how it functions, that's how it happens. The scenario usually and most of the time builds up. This is what organizational behavior is. Now, what leaders do, leaders understand the very psyche and the natural process and development of the organizational behaviors that has an impact on the behaviors of the people because of the external and internal factors. And that's what is to be understood if you want to develop positivity. So before you talk about positivity, you have to understand why it is important. The next thing is how it helps you become a great leader. So you are responsible for your vertical, your team, yourself, your business, your country, or your line of service, whatsoever you are responsible for. You have people working to accomplish the goals of your department or function or organization. So you are a collection of people, and people are a collection of emotions. Now, when they have more positive emotions, when they are more connected with the purpose, when they're more connected and they understand the goals, and then when they understand the organizational goals collectively, they're more on the positive side. So, on the one side, we talked about the stress and the organizational behavior and how there is a constant change and there is a constant pressure. And as a result of that, there is constant stress. So, the good news is you, as an inspirational leader, or you on a journey to becoming a great leader, understand this psyche and the organizational behavior. Let's be clear about it. This is your awareness about your surrounding. This is your awareness about your organization. This is your awareness about your team, and this is your awareness about the organizational reality, and this is your awareness as a leader, and this is your insight. Got it? And henceforth, if you come up to the level where you are aware, you start thinking of what is it that you can do to mitigate that stress, to minimize the negativity and bring people back, or at least maintain optimal level of performance. So people perform when they're happy, people perform when they're contented, people perform when they are aligned to the purpose. People perform when they know the reason why they're performing. People perform when they know that they can trust their leader. People perform when they understand that the organization and the leader values their contribution, and so on and so forth. So how does it help you become a great leader? When you're aware of the reality, when you're aware of what it is, when you're aware of how the organization is behaving, it does behave, and when you are aware of the existing situation of your organization, and so on and so forth. So next, you start making deliberate efforts of meeting people, short-circuiting the stress, and you make certain steps towards developing positivity. So here is the key message. You understand the difference between the negativity and positivity. You understand the impact of high negative organization or high negative team or high negative individual, high positive organization, high positive team, and high positive you and your people. Now what do you do? If your negativity is high and your positivity is down, it will impact your performance, the organizational performance, henceforth, of course, your performance. So you have to understand and balance between the negativity and the positivity, right? I want you to imagine your organization and you as a leader who's trying to build positivity in the organization for optimal performance. When you sense a little bit of high negativity, you start making efforts to bring down the negativity and increase the positivity within the organization. So how can you develop it? That's the next question. So you start taking actions towards engagement. You start taking actions towards meeting people. You start taking actions towards understanding the bottlenecks and the roadblocks and stuff like that. You become alert and you start meeting people, talking to people, trusting people, developing people, helping people, supporting people, talking to people, taking their feedback, listening to people, empathizing with people, communicating with people. You make all positive and possible efforts towards building positivity in the organization. You also make an effort to talk to the stakeholders and understand their reality and start communicating downwards. And the next thing you do as a leader in your individual capacity is, when you interact with people, try and minimize the criticism and negativity and increase the positivity. And that would mean building confidence in your core team, building confidence in your core functions. If you're interacting with people, you're working with people, you're likely to provide feedback for improvement, right? However, you cannot just provide feedback and talk negative. It is something like if you're talking about two negatives, you have to give three positives. Always keep the positives higher than the negativity. So you have to judge how your organization looks like, how your team looks like, and how you come across to people as a leader. Are you high on negative or you're high on positive? The moment you realize this and you start making efforts towards building positivity, you start becoming more impactful, more effective as a leader. Now, what could be the results of making efforts towards building a positive organization, or developing positivity within you, or developing positive attractors? What it means basically is, let's say you smile and someone feels good. It is contagious. The positive emotional attractor. The positivity is also contagious. When you build it deliberately, it has the impact on others, and others infect others. The others impact others, and the others impact others, and people start talking. The perception starts building, and the positivity starts building, and people start getting more engaged. People start getting to understand you more. People start to respect you more. People start to believe in you more. People start to trust in you more. People start believing in their goal, their leader's goal, and their organizational goals. So that's the kind of positivity that builds and gets connected and aligned to the larger goal. This was a small talk on the power of positivity, right? So we talked about what it is, and we talked about how you can become a great leader, more effective and more successful by understanding the impact of positive culture and negative culture, and by making deliberate efforts towards building positive culture. We also talked about the negative emotional attractors and positive emotional attractors, and how positive emotional attractors spread the positivity, and how it can have a psychological positive impact on you, your team, and on the organization. And we talked about the results of it. It can have the positive result on individual, team, organization, and your business, and it helps you unleash the talent for optimal performance. Hope this small talk on positivity for leaders was helpful to you. Thanks a lot. See you again on some other podcast. Truly appreciate your time.